up on today's After News, did New Japan just spoil Forbidden Door?
We've got an AEW star exclusively in the G1 Climax.
AJ Styles is going to wrestle for Noah.
And a WWE NXT favourite wins her first title.
I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Michael Hamflett.
And this is the After News. So Forbidden Door is just under 2 weeks away, just over 9 days away, basically.
Yeah.
Lots of excitement about that, a lot of speculation about what's going to happen. Big matches, of course, there. But potentially New Japan may have just spoiled the results of one of the biggest title matches on the show.
Yeah.
Of course, at Forbidden Door, IWGP World Heavyweight title is on the line. Jon Moxley defending against Tetsuya Naito. The reason I say they may have spoiled it is because New Japan have just announced the people involved in the G1 Climax. I'm going to avoid saying one name, or at least try to. That's been a bit of a surprise coming from AEW. But conspicuous, let's say, by his absence, is Jon Moxley in that list. Of course, if you're unaware, traditionally, the world champion is involved in the G1 Climax. Other than, of course, and I just know this off the top of my head, Riki Choshu from 92, Kazuyuka Fujita in 2001 and, of course, 2004, and Keiji Muto in 2008, who didn't compete in the tournament. But
that was one of our favourites, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but generally, the world champion is involved in there because it's like, you get a title shot for winning the G1 Climax, obviously, but also if you beat the champion in the tournament,
it's good broken.
So, another AEW name is involved in it, but Jon Moxley's name not there, which would suggest the 30th of June may see Tetsuya Naito leave with the title.
Yeah, that's it, as you pointed out, like the world champion being in that G1 is kind of integral to New Japan's booking across the winter months, regardless of who's won the shot at Wrestle Kingdom. Because in the last few years, obviously, if you beat the champion, you get a shot. And Naito, who we would have expected, don't get me wrong, to be in the G1.
Yes.
But this not being unveiled as it was at the weekend as a winner of the Forbidden Door match gets the spot.
That's a good point, yeah.
Spot has maybe given the game away here a little bit. I was rooting so much to see Jon Moxley's face in those announced lineups. We all have such fond memories of his 2019 G1 run. And again, it would have left the door open, if you'll pardon the pun, for who might win at the pay-per-view.
And he needs to go off AW television for a bit.
Yeah.
I said it. I'm not afraid to say it. So I deal with it.
I was, but I'm glad you did. Because I agree. It's one of them things, of course, where, for all that New Japan and AEW work together, there have sometimes been these kind of overlaps and conflicts where there's, New Japan have just got their set way they do things to the point where often pay-per-views or big events won't be promoted that much in advance because it requires the results of the prior show to get there, all that sort of thing. So we have had this happen on occasion. It's obviously one of the biggest matches at Forbidden Door, and indeed, they have been tinkering with the G1 format over the years. There was 4 groups last year. We're back to 2 this year. There's some qualifiers for the final spot I'm going to get to in a second. But yeah, I guess technically while you could go an entire G1 without the champion, it does create some sort of booking difficulties for New Japan, if not. So perhaps this has revealed indeed that Naito will defeat Jon Moxley. That will at least please the New Japan purists amongst you, I believe, because there has been some consternation about Moxley taking the title to Dynamite and just defending it willy-nilly as he had done on television. The belt not being present in New Japan at all times. It's developed, it's created a little bit of controversy, even though the two sides are working together at this point.
Whilst you were talking there, I just realised that 2008, the last time the world champion wasn't in the G1, is 16 years ago.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I'm going to see Block Party in a couple of weeks celebrating their 20th.
Really? You?
I know, 20th anniversary. That's a lot to deal with, isn't it? You just want to listen to a song you like, and then all of a sudden your body hurts physically. Do you know who else's body might hurt physically?
Who's that?
Konosuke Takeshita, by the time he's finished working this year's G1. This is huge, this is exciting. The AEW star. There was rumours that an AEW wrestler, or at least one, would be involved in this year's G1 on account of the co-promotion, but I'm not sure how many people assumed it would be Takeshita. We're all crying out for him to get more than he is getting in AEW, but at very least he will have a long, hot summer, but it's 95 degrees in the shade. The G1 doesn't go as hard as Girls Aloud, but it goes pretty goddamn hard, and so does Konosuke Takeshita. He's going to be making up Group B. I'm going to read out the lineups for those that are interested in this sort of thing. He's going to be joining El Phantasmo, Hiroki Goto, Yotsu Tsuji, Yui Iamura, Jeff Cobb, Hanare, David Finlay, and Ren Narita, as well as one of the qualifiers we talked about. In A block, there will be Tetsuya Naito, of course, also Shura, Shingo Takagi, Sanada, The Great Okan, Zack Sabre Jr., Gabe Kidd, Jake Lee, Evil, and another qualifier block as well. So,
go on, Gabe.
So yeah, back to the 2-block format there, the more sort of familiar format with the winner getting the shot at Wrestle Kingdom. And I don't know, I can't work out if Takeshita's one of the favourites or not. We've we've seen his AEW run feel a bit stop and start, and he's working
this. His frustrations about that as well.
Indeed, he's working this as very much a special guest. So, based on some of the blowback that New Japan have experienced belting up Moxley, stands to reason that they might not want to exactly just strap the rocket to Takeshita. But those of us watching with maybe less of an interest in New Japan these days will certainly be keeping a keener eye on how Takeshita gets on.
Yeah, when I saw this announcement, I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something kind of ooh, because I was excited.
How's this happened? I love it.
About seeing him in there. I hope they really, really push him in here. I hope he goes far in this, because I was genuinely astonished and quite annoyed that he didn't win that eliminator with Moxley. I thought it was a no-brainer to have him win that and then unfortunately fail to win the title from Moxley, rather than just Mox comes in and beats him with one arm as well. Yeah. But this might excuse it. If it's like, well, we're going to beat him there so he doesn't have a big title loss, but he's going to use that as a path to get into the G1 and really go far in that. I think he's such a brilliant young talent, and I think he's got such potential, and he needs some promotion to really take a chance on him, and I hope it is New Japan in this G1. Although I want Gabe Kidd to win the whole thing, obviously, because I'm biased.
Well, that's fair enough. The exposure that he'll get, not just obviously, it's Konosuke Takeshita, the wrestling world knows him, but the fact he's going to be wrestling that like crazy regular G1 schedule, his name is going to be out there amongst all of these really for the whole summer, for the whole duration of this tournament. It absolutely won't hurt. As well as taking a brief break from AEW television. If he is going to be featured, like you want to see him featured consistently.
Incredibly confusing Don Callis stable.
This is it.
Heel, one of the biggest baby faces in the world.
I wouldn't hate Callis going out there to be his commentator as he was for Kenny Omega as well. Wouldn't hate that either.
How many people go through in the G1 Climax?
They've changed the format this year to something I believe akin to our football playoff system, where you have, that you'll be very familiar with, where we have a block winner that will face 2 block winners that will get buys in the mini tournament.
It's like the National League playoffs.
That's it. Second and third will have their semi-finals, then they will face the winners of the blocks, and then that will determine a final. So you're looking at, I think, 6 spots to vie for.
Am I right in thinking previously it was just 1 and 2?
Typically, yeah, they would sometimes, like by the end of the block, the maths would work out that you would have like a block winner and a block runner-up. But yeah, 6-ish.
Speaking of things that went in 2x2, Noah's Ark, Noah, AJ Styles, segue, baby!
Why did I go to the trouble of dragging that information out? Every time I do it. Every time. I should look at the point in the eyes where he stopped listening to me. Yeah. I need to learn this.
About 5 minutes ago. Yeah. AJ Styles is going to wrestle for Wrestling Noah.
7 years I've been doing this.
Yeah. 7 more.
Yes, please.
Unless you're going to be a 7-year bitch.
Or get bad luck life enough being played.
But speaking of arcs, the genius of the arc, Noah Marufuji, is going to take on AJ Styles.
Speaking of arcs, please don't switch off. It's a really good feel-good story at the end. And this is a big one.
13th of July.
It's big. It is big.
That's awesome. AJ Styles is going to wrestle over there.
It's a big. I don't know how to be diplomatic about this. It's a big announcement. There's been some obviously some concern and consternation, I guess, over the prospect of Noah working with WWE on account of how well it goes for anybody working with WWE typically.
Also, I think I just called him Noah Marufuji, didn't I?
Oh, you might have. Sorry.
Naomichi Marufuji.
Sorry, I was trying to work through ARC at the time when you said that.
No, I've got Noah on the brain.
It's obviously we've had Shinsuke Nakamura work in Keiji Muto's retirement match, or one of them, last year. Charlie Dempsey, I believe, showed up in All Japan. This is.
Would you say there's been a flood of WWE talent going to
Japan? Yeah, maybe I would. Maybe I'll have to now because you've done it. So yeah, AJ, it's a huge announcement, but
it is awesome.
There has been some concern from some Noah fans and Noah purists that when WWE get their talons in, it could prove divisive, best dangerous at worst. They've tried and failed to get NXT Japan off the ground, so maybe this is a different strategy they're taking to try and sneak their way in. We will see, I guess, but it'll be a huge event. AJ Styles' first return to Japan outside of WWE since he last worked for New Japan in 2016.
Yeah. I bet they were relieved he didn't get killed by Cody Rhodes in the steps on Saturday night either.
Yeah, there were that. I should point out, that match got announced after Clash at the Castle, so probably waiting to give him a health check.
When's he working Cody's mum?
Hopefully Money in the Bank. Mummy in the Bank, I would say. Cody's mom has got it going on.
Have you seen Nick Wayne's mom's got a t-shirt?
I have, yes. It's another one of them AEW shirts, isn't it?
Say my birthday's in a couple of months.
That T-shirt is For the Sickos, not to be confused with the For the Sickos shirt, which is now also available as well. Wherever you get your AEW T-shirts from. Last story today. It's a feel-good one.
Oh, nice, I like this
one. We did say at the top of the news that a WWE NXT favourite has won her first title, and I don't think that's bait. Izzy Moreno, as she's now known as a wrestler. Of course, you might recall her as the Bayley superfan, featured prominently in Bayley's 2015 rise to the NXT title, and then perhaps most infamously in the fabulous spot with Sasha Banks in the Iron Man match at NXT TakeOver Respect, where Sasha ripped the bow off her hair, threw it away, and then did the you're crying, and Izzy was crying, but what an amazing moment it made. She has since followed her dreams and all that good stuff to become a wrestler herself. She's been turning out for Thunder Rosa's Mission Pro Wrestling over the last several months, and then had like a trophy, which I guess is their kind of Money in the Bank cash-in type thing. She was able to use that trophy against Tiffany Nieves at the weekend's Mission Pro Summer Loving show. She was successful in winning the title. She became the Mission Pro Women's Champion.
I bet she had a blast.
I bet she did. Well, there's something coming in a second that I think you're going to like. So she won the title. The ring is filled with kids, which is nice. It's like sort of a bit of a, I mean, she's only like very young herself, but it's a full circle moment for her now to be having young fans. Her gear is not dissimilar to the gear that Bayley wore, certainly in that NXT period. I'm sure you're going to see loads of side-by-sides of her holding Bayley's title and now her holding this one. She's made no secret of her will and her want to end up, in WWE or wrestling in the mainstream. So this, I guess, is the first start. And the first start, in a very literal sense, is her working her next show as champion. She's advertised for Mission Pro's show. And I'm looking at the poster, Wilborn, but I've already forgotten the name of this event coming in August.
They're doing Heatwave!
So yeah, if you want to get your tickets, shout out to friend of the channel, Thunder Rosa, for all her great work with Mission Pro, and indeed strapping up Izzy, who is now front and centre of the Heatwave poster. We'll get
crazy
Ryan to flash the poster up perhaps.
If people are kind of unaware, they might have just thought that, they've just given this fan, a title to try and make it interesting. Now, I've kept tabs on Izzy, and we were trying to interview her over WrestleMania weekend, just timings didn't work out for us. But she's been really working hard.
Doing the work.
Leaning on the industry connections she's got, obviously, through the exposure from being on NXT TV, but she's put the graft in, well deserved. Really nice story to end on that. Congratulations to her.
Feels just the start, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Right, why not check out this morning's news video if you want something else to do. But let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, and this morning's news video is, in fact, right here. We'll see you soon.